We're going to take a break now from our headlines. Our Small Town Spotlight series is back after a short hiatus, and we're excited to tell you more about Chihuahua's Pueblos Mágicos. That's actually Spanish for magic towns. There are 5 Pueblos Mágicos in total, and KTSM went exploring to find out exactly what makes them so, well, magical. The towns are Casas Grandes, Cril, Parral, Huachochi, and Batopilas. You can find out more about these towns during our live Small Town Spotlight newscast coming up tonight at 6. None of this would be possible without our Small Town Spotlight sponsor, Daniela Labonetti, law firm. Our chief meteorologist, Robert Bettis, is at their offices right now in downtown El Paso with a first look at the forecast. Hey, Robert, what are you up to?
Well, Christina, it's been a while because this has been a more than active monsoon, but finally nature gives us a little break from the heavy rain threat. I looked at all the model data and I'm no longer nervous. You know, whenever I see a surge of tropical moisture over the borderland, I get nervous and I don't want to be out of the weather center if we face that threat of heavy rainfall. But it's very different today. It is 93 degrees right now at the International Airport. There's actually a little bit of cloud cover. I'm on Myrtle Street, and as you mentioned, these small town spotlights had to take a small hiatus due to safety and weather coverage, but we are back in business today. So let's go ahead and run through the small town spotlight checklist, shall we? Imitation aviators, check. 100% synthetic trousers that come out of the dryer wrinkle-free, check. Upgraded shoes because I'm going to be at our sponsor, the Labonetti Law Firm, and I thought I'd wear at least one thing that was fancy, check. And the sponsor of the Small Town Spotlights right here, 707 Myrtle, the Labonetti Law Firm. I have been given unlimited and unprecedented use of their whiteboard so we can continue our investigation into my photographer, Tony Pena. I'm going to have your full forecast. We'll talk about triple-digit heat. We're going to meet all the attorneys. It's the most fun you'll ever have with attorneys. Trust me. All coming up in just a bit. Christina?
Robert, you're hilarious. You've got me laughing the entire time. But I think you're absolutely ready to do what you have to do. We're going to check back with you a little bit later.
We have a special treat for you today. Arguably, Mexico's biggest recording star ever was Juan Gabriel. Though he was born in another part of Mexico, at 6 months old, he moved here to Juarez, which he loved very much. This is his home. Of course, Juan Gabriel passed away in 2016, but his beautiful mansion lives on as a museum that you can visit. Now, Juan Gabriel recorded 500 songs and wrote as many as 700 songs. He sold over 100 million copies and was an undisputed major musical success. And here in Juarez, his legacy lives on in this gorgeous museum that you can visit.
Ah, boy, do I love going to Juarez. I think I go more frequently than any other talent at KTSM, and let me tell you, it is a treasure of a sister city with beautiful people, and we have a lot more coming up during our Small Town Spotlight this very afternoon. These Small Town Spotlights could not happen without our underwriter, Labonetti Law Firm. And the Labonetti Law Firm, headed by Daniela Labonetti, have become really kind of close friends, and over the weeks this summer, we've learned a lot. Of course, we've learned a lot of things maybe we didn't want to learn. And what I'm talking about, of course, is my photographer, Tony Pena. And we have a segment called Should We Represent Ourselves? And over the weeks, we found out that Tony Pena drives a small imported car. Yeah, he looks like a rock star. The ladies love him. But he is also a very aggressive driver. Tony, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm a perfect driver, and I don't drive a small VW Bug.
Well, the whiteboard says differently. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast, and then we're going to go inside where I will find out, should we represent ourselves or should we get a professional legal team? Here is your exclusive 9-day forecast. We're looking at a high temperature for tomorrow of 99 degrees. I'm keeping in a chance of isolated area storms, and if we get rain out of those storms, it will be quite brief. So I'm no longer nervous about the threat of heavy rainfall. However, things start to change on Friday. On Friday, we've got partly cloudy skies and a high temperature of 99. As we cruise into our weekend ahead, we'll be looking at a high of 101 degrees by Saturday, as hot as 103 by Sunday. By Monday, that high pressure dome truly explodes, and it's going to take us up into the extreme heat range. We're talking a high of 105 by Tuesday. The crescendo is Wednesday with a high of 106 and 105 on Thursday. Of course, then it starts to break down by the following Friday with the chance of thunder showers, and I believe that dome of high pressure will start to break down. Welcome, my friends. After all these weeks, I finally found out where the home office of my good friend and attorney, Daniela Labinati, is. And as you can see in this luxurious conference center where the ladies, hi ladies, have pulled out every imaginable stop for me. One, an entire bowl of delicious candy is waiting for me. Number two, not only do I not have to use my whiteboard, I've been given unlimited and unprecedented use of their whiteboard and their gigantic conference room. Coming up through the afternoon, we're going to meet the 5 attorneys who work for Daniela Labinati and the Labinati Law Firm. We're going to find out their specialty, and we're also going to ask the deep, probing legal question, should I represent myself? And I think we know the answer to that one, don't we, Tony? And more we're going to find out about you, aren't we? You stay with KTSM 9 years.
Welcome back. Today is Small Town Spotlight, and we are highlighting the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico. Right now, we want to talk about the former residence, though, of beloved Mexican music legend Juan Gabriel. In the heart of Juarez is the iconic attraction that millions now consider a cultural landmark. Take a look.
The project of the museum is a very long project. It wasn't made on the rush. We have been working on it for about 20 years. Last year, from 2024, finally it came to fruition, and the museum opened its doors for the fans. We started seeing each day more and more people coming to the museum. The impact it had in just not Ciudad Juarez or Mexico, but in a lot of Latin America and international people.
I'm the biggest fan of Juan Gabriel. When I was a little girl, I just watching the house and imagine Juan Gabriel walking here in his garden with his trees.
He was really close to the fans, to the people here in Juarez. Usually when he was here at home, he usually walk up from this door and meet the fans right outside the house. It was his last wish. He wanted to rest in his home. Juarez was always his home, and he wanted to stay here. He knew where he came from, what the fans means to him. He was really grateful to the fans.
His person, his sensibility, he was a wonderful man, a wonderful human being.
Juan Gabriel was definitely a Mexican legend, but it was more than that. He was international. Our Small Town Spotlight series is back after a short hiatus, and we're excited to tell you more about Chihuahua's Pueblos Mágicos, and that's Spanish for magic towns. Now, there are 5 Pueblos Mágicos in total, and KTSM went exploring to find out exactly what makes them so magical. The towns are Casas Grandes, Paquime, Parral, Huatcochi, and Patopilas. You can find out more about these towns during our live Small Town Spotlight newscast coming up at 6 tonight. Now, none of this would be possible without our small town spotlight sponsor, Daniela Labinati Law Firm. Our chief meteorologist, Robert Bettis, is at their offices in downtown El Paso with a first look at the forecast. Hey, Robert, what are you up to now?
Christina, hello and back at you. I'm so excited that we're back in the saddle with our small town spotlights. We had to take a small reprieve thanks to Mother Nature and the thunder showers and this very active monsoon that we've had so far this year. Well, that monsoon, as I suspected, took a little hiatus this afternoon. We'll have a chance of some isolated hit or miss thunderstorms. If we get any rainfall at all out of those storms, it would be brief. I am no longer nervous. I have looked at all the model data, and we are not facing any kind of a threat of heavy rainfall. In fact, by the next few days and by the end of the weekend, we'll be begging to have that moisture back because we're going to move into a period of extreme heat, which I will talk about coming up in your main weather forecast. Of course, Daniela Labinati, the principal attorney of the Labinati Law Firm, has joined me several times on location and given me great legal advice. We have a segment here on KTSM called Should We Represent Ourselves? That, of course, is the legal question where myself and my photographer, Tony Pina, we get into some trouble. And should we represent ourselves in court, or should we find a team of professional attorneys? Well, coming up here today, live at the Labinati Law Firm on Myrtle Drive, not far from downtown, we're going to meet some of the attorneys. There are 5 total attorneys. Joining me is Stephen Lucy. Nice to see you. And also, we've got Omar Silva. Nice to see you, Omar. Gentlemen, well, I'm glad at least I wore my fancy shoes today. Now, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking with Daniela. She'll come over, correct? She's in a meeting right now?
Yes.
And we're going to paint for her a legal picture with my photographer, Tony Pina. I guess you've had a chance to meet Tony?
Yes, we have.
Do you have any initial impressions?
He's a great cameraman. He's a great cameraman.
Okay, we'll give you that. He is an excellent photographer.
Yes.
But what about his driving? Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that, and we're going to use the whiteboard coming up in just a little bit. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll have more to talk to you about your specialties when Daniela joins us at 5 o'clock. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Christina, we're continuing our legal investigations into our own photographers right here live. Back to you.
Well, I think you're in the right law firm to do that.
We're here in Juarez at the Museo de Juan Gabriel, Mexico's biggest star for music. This is kind of like Graceland in Nashville for Elvis. Juan Gabriel was a major star for Mexico. Joining me now is a tour guide here at the museum, Jesus Alejandro Reyes Nunez. Nice to see you,
Very nice
Jesus.
to meet you, Robert.
Okay, so where was Juan Gabriel born?
He was born in Parácuaro, Michoacán, and he was brought here to Juarez when he was 6 months old.
So this is his hometown, and he loved Juarez. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Obviously, he was a big star here too.
Yeah.
But how did it all begin? What did his parents do?
Okay, so her mother worked cleaning houses, but they didn't have many opportunities in Michoacán, so they decided to come here to Ciudad Juarez to look for job opportunities.
And Juan Gabriel, how did he begin in music? How did it all start?
Okay, so he was staying in an institution where they were taking care of him, and he had this teacher, Juan. That's where he got his name, Juan Gabriel. He taught him about music and about life. And when he was 13 years old, he wrote his first song, La Muerte del Palomo, the death of the pigeon, something like that. And it is a very emotional song, actually, if you listen to it, for a 13-year-old to write. Yeah.
First song at 13 years
13
old.
years old, yeah.
So much more coming here at the museum.
Ah, yes, our small town spotlight, Pueblos Mágicos, and Juarez is such a wonderful city. I always love to go there, and it's always incredible to see the treasures that are hidden. Don't be afraid to go and visit because it's a wonderful place. Of course, these small town spotlights could not happen with now my close friend, Daniela Labinati, and her incredible law firm. Daniela, a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you again, Robert. It's been some time.
It has been some time. Of course, we had to put stuff on pause because of the thunder showers. Have you had quite a bit of rain at your house this year?
I have had, yes, a lot.
A stormy, and of course the bad side, the flooding in Ruidoso and in Vado and stuff like that. And you know, we're praying for those people to get better.
Yeah, we've had some clients that were affected by it, so absolutely.
Truly, already affected by the weather.
Yes,
so
we've had clients in Ruidoso and other people whose houses were damaged as a result of the flood. So yes, we are all, everyone is in our thoughts and prayers.
Well, that's wonderful. Okay, let me ask a little more about the clients in Ruidoso. Can you paint a hypothetical scenario of what happened? Of course, we all watched as the river rose 15 feet and began to flood whole homes away down the river. What kind of situation could be happening there legally?
Well, we had some clients that apparently were actually injured as a result of the flood because some actually facilities had not addressed the settings and the premises, even though they knew that there was issues with the flood before. And so we had a couple that was injured as a result of that, and we're looking at that possibility. And then we had some other clients that were not able to show up to court, and we had to cancel court because of how their family were affected. So yes.
When you say that you're a full-service law firm, you truly are. I mean, I didn't expect you to have tentacles going all the way up to those floods in Ruidoso. So I'm kind of glad we put the small town spotlights on pause for a little while.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do the forecast, and then I'm going to bring in the whiteboard, and I think you know what that means.
I do know the whiteboard. And Tony. I do know Tony, too.
Yes, my photographer, Tony Pena. Well, as Omar, one of your attorneys, pointed out, Tony Pena is an excellent photographer. I mean, we're all going to put that one in your category, okay, Tony?
An excellent driver, too. Right, Tony?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see about that. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast. Now, over the next 9 days, here's what you can expect. Tomorrow, 99 degrees. We'll have a chance of little isolated hit or miss thunderstorms, but that threat of very heavy rainfall has passed. The mid-level moisture is way down, and it thins out even further on Friday. High temperature, 99 degrees. And then as we cruise into the weekend, here come the triple digits. Fire up the misery meter. 101 by Saturday, 103 on Sunday. By Monday, 104, 105 Tuesday, and the crescendo Wednesday, 106. And of course, that will be extreme heat. Now, I know that we're going to be upgrading to one of your conference rooms, and I understand that we might even get to use the big conference room today. Is that right?
That is right. You're special. Special guest here.
I brought my whiteboard, but I know you have high technology in here. But we'll use it just to keep the theme going. Okay, let's recap a couple of things. Of course, we have Tony Pena. Excellent photographer, but remember when the stage collapsed and you gave us legal advice? Remember that?
Correct.
Okay, so maybe a little clumsy? What about the time that the giant pistachio blew 80 miles per hour and hit his small imported car?
Yes, we talked about an act of God that unfortunately that was not a case. And we told Tony Pena that.
Yeah.
He got excited.
That one, you're off the hook. And of course, a ladies' man, sometimes they're buying him drinks. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, Tony. I hope that has stopped.
I believe it never really started.
Oh.
But you stay with KTSM 9 News, so we're going to really put Tony Pena, our photographer, on the wrap coming up in just a little bit. Christina, back to you. And of course, we'll answer all your legal questions. Christina?
I have so many, Robert. I don't know.
Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis is joining us now, live from the Labinati Law Firm. Hi, Robert.
Well, hi there, Estella. Yes, of course, I think we all know that it has been an active monsoon, widely scattered thunder showers, unfortunate flooding events up in Ruidoso, also in Vado and other parts of town, the northeast side as well. But it looks as though Mother Nature gave us a little break from the weather today, and therefore we're able to resume our small town spotlights. And today, of course, the Pueblos Mágicos of Mexico. And I went to Juarez. I've got some interesting reports that I think you'll enjoy coming up. Of course, none of these small town spotlights would happen without right here, the Labinati Law Firm, and I'm live on Myrtle Street, close to downtown as we speak. In addition to the whiteboard and all the technology, I've been allowed access to the giant conference room over here. And that's where we find the attorneys, Daniela Labinati. She also brought in part of her team. We've got Stephen and Omar as well. Nice to see you. We're going to paint some legal pictures coming up. Of course, we've got all eyes on my photographer, Tony Pena. Yes? Yes.
Tony?
We're watching you. Your full forecast, we'll talk about the storms tapering off as the triple-digit heat comes back. I'm going to have your full forecast, and we're going to speak to the team right here at the Labinati Law Firm, all in just a bit.
We're at the former home of Mexican singer Juan Gabriel in Juarez, and now this gorgeous mansion and all the grounds are a beautiful museum. Juan Gabriel passed away on August 28, 2016. He died in California, in Santa Monica. But that very day, he was slated to fly to El Paso, Texas, and perform at a concert at the Don Haskins Center. Unfortunately, he never made that concert. When you come to the museum, one of the things you'll see is this beautiful Cadillac. And Jesus, a tour guide, tell us about this car.
Yeah, of course, this was a personal car that he owned. He had it, most of it, just for the collection. He didn't use it that much. It was first in Cancun, where he recorded the disc Las Duo Dos, the Duet 2. And as you can see, it's also in the record label.
Perfect. Now, this was his last album that was released when he was alive.
Yeah, he had one also after that one, but it was taken because of some legal troubles.
A legal dispute.
Legal dispute, yeah.
Wow. Incredible piece of history.
That's right.
Absolutely wonderful to go to Juarez. It's a pleasure. It's exciting. But I'll tell you what's not exciting is if your name is Tony Pena, my photographer, and we are finally here at the Labinati Law Firm, and the chickens have come home to roost, haven't they, Tony Pena? The entire team, or at least most of the team, is here right now. How do you feel, Tony?
Well, I'm a perfect driver, Robert, so no worries.
It's true, he has a perfect driving record, but of course...
So he says.
So he says. Well, Tony, if you would, just let's refer here to the board. And of course, as was pointed out, Tony Pena is an excellent photographer for KTSM. There's no doubt about that. And of course, he's a fashionista. He has the rock star hair and the actual real aviator glasses, which I do not possess, but maybe I'll borrow them one day. But there are other problems. Aggressive driver, of course. And then there's also the act of God, misfortune, where the giant pistachio near Alamogordo nearly blew him over, and of course he loves the ladies.
That's right.
Daniela, we know that Tony is a good guy, and of course we're completely joking about this, everybody, so don't worry. But this is the real team, so could you kind of introduce us to your team? And I know that two of the attorneys are busy right now, but you have a wonderful law firm, and you treat people like family. And how does everybody play a part?
Well, Stephen Lucy is one of our attorneys, and then Omar Silva is also one of our attorneys. We are missing the two other attorneys. They're busy. One of them is also our appellate attorney. He works late at night, so he's not always here. But yeah, we're a team of lawyers. We're a total of 5 lawyers. We are around 40 employees, so this is a big law firm. We have a location also in Las Cruces. So we have been around for a long time, and we have represented the community, especially El Paso and Las Cruces, and we love doing it. I love what I do, and I love to continue to be able to do it for more years to come.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk some serious legal scenarios at 6 o'clock, and you even go so far as to have an investigator down there, Eric. Hello, Eric. Eric will go out and even go as deep as looking at tapes of convenience stores.
Absolutely.
To verify whether or not people have really run a red light or not. And that's how thorough you are in your investigation.
We have several investigators, and Eric is only one of them, but we have more than we have 3 investigators.
Wonderful.
So absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast. High temperature tomorrow, 99 degrees with a chance of isolated storms, and then it's all about the heat as we move in the triple digits for the weekend ahead. If that high pressure keeps growing, which I think it will, we'll be at 106 by Wednesday. You stay with KTSM 9 News. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Welcome back to KTSM 9 News Now. I'm Andy Morgan alongside Monica Cortez as we are getting ready to resume our Small Town Spotlight series as we are coming to you live today near the campus of UTEP from Chihuahua Charlie's as we're highlighting the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico.
It really has. It's been a hot minute, right, since we've
really
done
has.
the Small Town Spotlight, but we're so excited because this is a very unique one. Andy, we take this all the way to Mexico, and we kind of want to highlight a little bit of the beautiful cuisine and cultural there is to share with you guys. So check out this delicious dish made by a very renowned Chihuahuan chef.
Corn ribs.
Okay.
Because it's really corn, but we're going to make it like if it was a rib.
So, chef, how do you call this in Spanish? What is this in Spanish?
Costillas de elote.
What is the first step?
So we have the corn and we just peel it off. Then we're going to leave it like this.
Okay.
And we're going to put it on to boil.
Okay.
We're going to turn this off now. So let's start with the corn.
Okay.
So we just put the corn in water for about 15 minutes. Then we grab our corn. After 15 minutes in water, we're going to have our corn over here. And then we're going to try to make cuts in the center.
All right, chef, so you already cut most of these corns.
Yep.
What do we do now?
So we're going to put it in the grill. So we just want to get this grill flavor and the color.
Okay, so this is a mayonnaise-based sauce?
It's just a little bit, It's going to be a mayonnaise. So it goes with the corn.
And this is a secret sauce that we're going to put in there.
Yeah. So we want a spicy mayo. And then we also have the requesón. The requesón is a fresh cheese that we make. And then we have pico de gallo. So we have chili, cilantro, tomate, and cebolla. So we're here gonna just turn our corn. So here's the color we want to get on it.
You know what? This is a really good dish, right? For like a hot summer day, maybe. You can impress actually the family with a dish like this.
So here we have the first.
Wow, it looks so beautiful and I can't wait to taste it. Chef, thank you so much for coming with us all the way from Chihuahua, if you guys can believe that. And I can't wait to visit you guys down there. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, if you weren't hungry, you're hungry now. And joining us now is Alejandra Villalobos, the Director of Tourism Management for the state of Chihuahua. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You know, Alejandra, we are so excited to get to know these Pueblos Mágicos, and we will in our 6 p.m. hour. But briefly, Alejandra, can you tell us what makes them so special?
Well, as you already know, we have 5 Pueblos Mágicos, and each one of them is pretty different from the other. So some of them are going to be they are going to have a lot of richness in cultural or historical topics, but also some of them are going to have a lot of natural resources that can be visited and also do things in all of these places.
How does one get to, if they're not familiar with traveling maybe to Mexico, how would one get to one of these, 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, whether it be by air or a lot of people like to drive as well? How do you suggest getting to there?
Well, you could fly actually from here to El Paso, El Paso, or to Chihuahua, and from there there's an airport in Crete. So you could fly over there. But also you could drive all the way from, let's say that Casas Grandes is very close from Juarez and El Paso. It's just about 3 hours and a half away.
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's easy to go there. And also, if you would like to go to some of these places, there are some specialized tour operators that can take you there. And they could create the whole trip taking as much time as you can have.
Oh my gosh, and just to tell you guys, these places are so beautiful. I've got to see a little bit of it, Andy. You'll see it in the 6 p.m. Alejandra, real quickly, can you tell some people some of the magic you'll find in 30 seconds?
Let's say that you go from the bottom of the canyons in Batopilas, that is just about 1,500 meters, feet over sea level. So it's a subtropical weather with mango and avocado trees, all the way to 2,500 meters. So it would be about 7,500 feet. And so those are pine and oak forest with a lot of rock formations. And then if you go to Parral, then you will have all these historical mining towns that have all the origins of Chihuahua.
Wow.
Very cool.
Thank you so much, Alejandra. That is amazing.
Can't wait to see more of it. KTSM 9 News Small Town Spotlight, that's going to begin at 6 p.m. We're looking forward to introducing you to the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua.
We'll be right back.
Season 3 of Small Town Spotlight, sponsored by Labinati Law.
KTSM 9 News live on location today, coming to you live from Chihuahua Charlie's as we continue with our Small Town Spotlight series. Of course, Chihuahua Charlie's near the campus of UTEP as we are about to highlight and spotlight the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of KTSM 9 News Small Town Spotlight. I'm Andy Morgan.
And I'm Monica Cortez. So we're super excited. This is a very special Small Town Spotlight because we are truly highlighting small towns that are just a few hours away from our hometown here in El Paso. And they're very unique, guys. It is so easy to get to them. And of course, we're going to be showing you all the rich culture and traditions that you'll be finding in these small towns.
Yeah, from the historical allure of Creel, of course.
A magic town has to have this magic, of course, and has to tell you something about the history of the place, the culture of the place. The one that is closer to you is Casas Grandes. The most important thing that you have there is that Paquimé, which is this archaeological site, is a UNESCO heritage place. Parral is located in the southeast of Chihuahua. Since Parral had a lot of mining, a lot of silver, but you know, Parral has something very important for us. It was the place where Pancho Villa was killed. So every July, the death of Villa is commemorated, and it takes 15 days, 2 weeks. Then you go to Huachochi. Huachochi is in the top of, it's like a huge mesa on top of the canyons. So it's a forest, pine and oaks. It's pretty cool. They have very majestic nature, landscapes, and is surrounded by canyons. Chihuahua has the largest system of canyons in the world. And then you go to Batopilas. Going into Batopilas is an adventure. It's very beautiful, and you're going to go to 1,500 feet over sea level. So everything changed, from the forest to mangoes, avocados, and guavas, and papaya trees. Subtropical weather, and then in winter you can have snow, freezing temperatures up there, and then in the bottom you're going to be in summer camp. Creel is going to be surrounded by these volcanic rocks that have really amazing shapes, such as frogs, mushrooms, monks, and each valley has its own name because of the shape of the rocks. Also, Creel has the Chepe, the train. So if you would like even to go to the Sea of Cortez, you can take the train, cross the Sierra Madre, and then go all the way to the Pacific coast. Take the chance to go and visit Chihuahua. We are neighbors, we have been there like forever, and it's a great way also to know about culture, about history. You will always find something to do with your family in all of those places.
Well, that was just a little taste of what each town has to offer. We're going to deep dive into these towns in 2 series, part 1 and part 2. Andy, what do you think?
I'll say 2 things. Number 1, not what I expected, to be completely honest with you. So green, you have the mountains,
right?
So much color there, beautiful landscape, not quite what I expected, so that's really, really cool. The other part that I really came away with in looking at some of those maps is how these drives, I mean, they're just short drives, 3-4 hours. I mean, we do that when we go to Albuquerque, something like that, shorter distance than people driving to Austin or San Antonio. So this for sure is a legitimate option for people who want to take a quick trip.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a lot more information for you on how you can get there. But first, I'm kind of curious what our chief meteorologist is up to.
I know he got to visit Juan Gabriel's house over in Juarez at some point, but I believe he's over at the Lebanati law firm today. How are you doing, Robert?
Andy, Monica, I could not be better. And of course, these small town spotlights could not happen with our underwriter, the Labinati Law Firm. And joining me now is my friend, Daniela Labinati. We get to come to the home office on Myrtle Street. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Robert.
And of course, we're in the big conference room. A couple of the attorneys and one of the investigators is actually here with us today. Of course, we have a segment which we've had on these small town spotlights called Should We Represent Ourselves? And of course, I'm talking about my photographer, Tony Pina, and myself, which we have gone into depth over his behavior, his driving habits, and other things over the last several weeks. Of course, I think we know, Daniela, that Tony Pina is an excellent photographer, yes?
Yes, we do.
But we've always discovered already that he's can be an aggressive driver. He claims he's not, and yes, he has a perfect driving record, but questionable business practices, act of God moments, are they accidents? I'm not quite sure. But in a serious matter, let's say that our friend Tony Pina was actually rear-ended by a semi-truck. His car was not damaged at all, but he was hurt. What's up with that?
That's why you shouldn't represent yourself, because you cannot take your body in a shop for a mechanic to fix it. You can take your car, but not your body. So absolutely you need an attorney to fight you for that, because insurance companies will fight you and they will say, well, your car is not damaged.
All right, we're going to talk a lot about that issue. And in your forecast, it's 94 degrees at the airport right now. The storms have thinned out. It's all about the triple-digit heat coming up. I'm going to have your forecast and we'll find out, well, what should you do if your car's not that hurt, but you're very hurt? Who pays for that? Coming up. Andy, Monica?
Robert, thank you so much. We'll check in back with you in just a bit.
Yeah, we still have a lot more to get to on this edition of Small Town Spotlight, but we do want to get to our news of the day.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and send it over to Estela Casas, who's in the studio right now. Estela.
Oh, it looks great out there, guys. KTSM is still trying to learn more about a deadly stabbing in South El Paso this morning that left a man dead. We're going to give you a quick recap of today's news. El Paso police say officers responded to an assault in progress involving 2 people last night around 8:30 p.m. on East 9th Street. That's right next to the border highway. When officers arrived, they found a 46-year-old man had been stabbed. The unidentified man was taken to a hospital where he later died. It's unclear if any arrests have been made or what led to the stabbing. And if you know anything, call Crime Stoppers at 566-TIPS. Well, class is back in session on Monday for students in the El Paso School District, but parents and advocates from the Bowie High School feeder pattern say their campuses don't have the resources to function properly. Advocates from Familias Unidas say that more than 300 students who graduate from Bowie High School, only 28 are college ready or prepared to join the workforce. Bowie reportedly has the highest concentration of students at risk of not graduating or who are just learning English in school. Advocates say El Paso ISD continues to neglect students by not providing adequate teachers, staff, or programs that can help address their unique challenges.
I can tell you from experience that things haven't really changed much in terms of the treatment of the children. These prejudice attitudes that have been formulating not just in the campuses but throughout the city of El Paso. Where are local leaders that advocate for higher education and for opportunities for the Hispanic population and minorities.
KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltasar is at a public forum being held by advocates and parents as we speak. He'll tell us more tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, that was a look at your top stories for today. Let's send things over to Monica Cortez and Andy Morgan, who are out live at Chihuahua Charlie's for our small town spotlight today.
Hey, Estela, thank you so much. All right, guys, so before we take a deep dive into all the Pueblos Mágicos, we kind of want to address the first question. In case you at home are wondering, I don't know how to get to Chihuahua. I don't even know how to get to Mexico. It sounds very complicated. We're here to answer all your questions.
Also, a big part of that has to be travel documents, right?
Absolutely.
What do you need in order to get to the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico? We stopped by the Consul General of Mexico to find out that answer.
Well, first you need to have a passport or an ID.
The Consul General of Mexico shares that it's very easy to get all your documents in order.
You don't need a visa if it's only for tourism purposes. What you need is to pay a permit if you are going to Chihuahua for more than 7 days.
However, if you are driving to Chihuahua, there is an extra step you'll need to take.
Then what you need to ask for is a temporary permit for the vehicle. That is very important, because if you don't have that permit to introduce your car to Chihuahua, then it can be seized.
The Consul General says it's easy to get this permit. You can pay for it online or at any of the border crossings, adding, there is one extra step you must remember to do.
When you return to the U.S., you have to give back the permit. You have to cancel it, because if you don't cancel it, then there's always a problem the next time that you want to cross.
If you're flying by air, the process is even easier.
The airline charges directly the permit in your the price of your ticket, so that you know that you're paying a permit to enter Mexico already in your ticket.
All in all, the Consul General says he encourages everyone to visit the magical towns in Chihuahua.
You will have a great experience. You will have the real Mexican experience, because these are little towns full of color, full of culture, full of fun things to do.
Some great tips right there. I'll tell you what, didn't realize that they actually factor that into the cost of an airline ticket.
Right, I learned that too, and it just made it feel so much easier to travel to Mexico. Yeah. So guys, you have no excuse now. But you know what? We are here in this beautiful establishment, Andy, and we found a very unique connection between this place and Mexico.
That's right. So we're live here from Chihuahua Charlie's. That's near the campus of UTEP, a fairly new location, if I'm not mistaken, too. Yeah. The one thing I'll say, I actually got to experience Chihuahua Charlie's. I came here before the Coldplay concert, which I think a lot of people had the same intention, the same ideas, and I'll tell you what, absolutely no complaints. I know this restaurant, the one in Juarez, that is, very, very popular, and so kind of bringing that concept now to El Paso.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about history and how it really impacted a lot of El Pasoans. Here, check it out.
When I walked into the original Chihuahua Charlie's, they knew who I was. They knew my name. They knew what I drank. They knew what foods I liked. Of course, they would ask me about the food. And you felt at home. You were comfortable.
The Chihuahua Charlie's is very special because that's where I met my wife back in 1991. We used to go like every weekend to go have dinner. There was a long line to get in, and at 9:30, 10 o'clock, they will turn up the music really loud and everybody starts dancing right next to your table.
You didn't have to act any other way but yourself. You had to be yourself. And that's the same atmosphere we want for this new restaurant. We want you to come in and we want to be able to know your name. We want to be able to say, welcome back. We do have a lot of the old menu. We have some new plates, okay? But it's still international food. We have the original bread. The little bread that they used to give at Chihuahua Charlie's, we still give it here.
When we came in, we were like, oh, remember this? And my wife was like, here, taste it. Oh my God, they taste just like it.
We're trying to get people to bring in their old Chihuahua Charlie's pictures. They used to come with a cardboard around it in the picture. So we want them to take the copy of the whole cardboard and we put them in a frame and we hang them on the hallway.
Chihuahua Charlie's in Juarez closed 30 years ago. So seeing all those people come back and reunite here. It's really fun. It's very exciting.
And to be honest with you, it gives me that feeling of happiness when I see people that come in here. We've got some of the waiters that were there before, and they look at them, they see them, and they're happy. It makes me happy to see people happy.
Joining us now is Jose Luis Hernandez, the co-owner here of Chihuahua Charlie's. Thank you so much for being a part of Small Town Spotlight and hosting us here.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're super excited. Jose Luis, okay, so you've been open for about 2 months now. Have people really started bringing in their pictures?
Oh, absolutely. We have a hallway that leads to our bathrooms, okay, and we've been putting the pictures up. We have several people that have brought several pictures, and anybody is welcome to come and bring their old pictures, their pictures from their memories in Juarez, and we'll put them up. We enjoy all of that. We try to get people involved in the restaurant. It might not be the same one in Juarez, but it brings back memories, and that's what is more important for us, is to have these people remember when, of course, we were young, okay, and now they're enjoying the later part of their lives at Chihuahua Charlie's.
Yeah, and Monica even mentioned it too about your family having memories and being like, oh, they opened back up and no, it's here in El Paso. I know I have some family who said very similar things. How important was it to kind of carry over some of those same concepts, same themes into what you're opening here at Chihuahua Charlie's?
It was very important for me and my partner to have those memories, but we have some people that worked in Juarez that now work here as waiters. Okay, we have people that were captains there; they're captains here. Okay, we have that same vibe that they had. We have in here, and we try to keep that alive for people. It's very important for people to come and enjoy themselves.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about.
And you know what? So I know that in Juarez you had a little bit of a discoteca going on with the restaurant. I know you're bringing that here as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, what we do is our kitchen closes at 10, okay? But on Saturdays we have live music, okay? At about 9 o'clock, the lights start dimming, the music starts getting louder, okay? And we try to make an area open so that people can dance. And once our kitchen closes at 10, well, we try to get everybody to get up, to yell, to have fun, which is what people were used to in Juarez. Of course, we don't recommend getting on top of the tables like they did in Juarez, but you know, chairs are okay.
Still the same good time is what we're looking
Absolutely.
for. Jose Luis, I'm going to get you out on this real quick. We got 15 seconds. When I'm looking at a menu, what am I going with?
Well, for example, if you're a meat lover, the medallones are to die for. Okay. We have 6 different sauces that we can put on top of your medallones, or if you like it plain, we leave it plain. Our meat is really, really good. Okay, if you like, or you're a fish person, we have the camarones madrazo and the camarones tequila. Okay, those are our portions are very big portions. Okay, and the flavors that we have, we carry on from what Chihuahua Charlie's and Juarez used to be. We do tweak it a little bit here and there, but you will enjoy our food. It's one of the things that people have been praising us, is the food and the service.
Yeah, excited about that.
Let's not forget los españolitos.
Españolitos. We have españolitos and we have the champacus.
Awesome.
Ooh, amazing. Thank you so much, Jose Luis.
Thank you very much for having me.
So great to have you. And of course, we have much more coming up here on your way on Small Town Spotlight from the 5 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
We're at the former home of Juan Gabriel, which is now a beautiful museum in Juarez. Our tour guide, Jesus, of course, taking us around these beautiful grounds. We're not allowed to photograph inside. So the photographs we share are actually from the museum, and we thank you very much. Yeah. What do they see when they step inside?
Okay, so first we step into the reception where we put a welcoming message from Juan Gabriel. Then we enter the main hall. There's a beautiful space there with a dome on top. It's really beautiful. Also, people can see him resting there. The ashes are on top of the chimney. This house was built in 1942 in one of the best areas of the city at the time. It was finished in the 44th, and then Juan Gabriel acquired it in the 84th.
In 1984, he bought it from a customs agent,
Exactly.
Mr. Mora, and the Mora family actually called Juan Gabriel because at that point, he was quite rich and he was quite famous. And they're like, do you want to buy this home?
Exactly. They wanted a person who could keep the house as it was, and they knew Juan Gabriel was the man for that.
Wow. Fantastic. All right, let's take a look at your 9-day forecast. Now, as I suspected, the storms thinned out. I am no longer nervous about the threat of heavy rainfall. Will we see a chance of isolated storms tomorrow? Yes, we could. If we got any rain out of those hit or miss storms, it would be brief. High temperature goes up to 99 degrees. Will be partly cloudy on Friday with a high of 99. And then fire up the misery meter as we move into the weekend. 101 on Saturday, 103 Sunday. High pressure continuing to grow. We could be as hot as 106 degrees by Wednesday of next week. I am live at the Labinati Law Firm, and here is the home of the attorneys who run this wonderful law firm and defend people and seek justice. For example, my photographer, Tony Pena, this time was the victim of an accident. He was rear-ended in his car, though looks fine. It wasn't damaged that much, so surely Tony's not damaged at all, but our friend Daniela Labinati says, hold on. You have cases where cars are not damaged, but the people are really seriously hurt, and they need to call you immediately. So why?
Absolutely, because insurance companies, they look at the car and they say, well, how can you be so hurt? And that is absolutely untrue, especially when you get hit by a semi, because it's a very big vehicle, weighs several tons. And the experts, we have lots of experts who will tell us that it's the force of the vehicle that goes inside the body, the small vehicle. So the vehicle might look fine and the semi might have no scratch, but actually people are injured. And we represent a lot of people, that had been given the runaround by insurance companies, and they deny their claim because they say, oh, how could you be injured? And again, a body is not a vehicle. You cannot take it in a body shop. You cannot fix your body. And every body is different, right? Our health is different. Everyone is different. So you can have two people in the car and they can have completely different injuries, even though if they were hit by the same car. So it's frustrating, and our law firm has to spend a lot of money and efforts and hire experts and investigators, and we have to go to court and fight because yet again, this fallacy that, oh, well, the body is not injured. So again, under the law, you take the plaintiff as you find them, whether you're a strong body or a weak body, and an old person, a young person, or someone with prior existing injuries. It doesn't matter. If they injured you, if they harmed you, they are 100% responsible for what they caused.
I didn't know that, Daniela.
You absolutely need an attorney to fight for you, because this is one of the most problematic kind of cases, and we see this quite often.
You brought up another point which we're going to address at 6:30, and that is, what if you're hit with somebody with no insurance? Oh, you're going to love this answer. You stay with KTSM 9 News. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Small Town Spotlight. We're coming to you live from Chihuahua Charlie's, and we're finally going to start digging into these beautiful magic towns.
Yeah, we're starting out with Casas Grandes, which is a prehistoric archaeological site in the northern Mexican state of Chihuahua. Now, Casas Grandes is also one of the largest, most complex cultural sites in the region. Check it out.
Un municipio que tiene muchas
Grandes, or Paquimé, was a major pre-Columbian city that flourished thanks to its extensive trading networks in 12th century Chihuahua, Mexico.
eran casas hasta de 3 pisos.
Mayor Roberto Lucero shared that his city got its descriptive name because of the tall structures that dotted the city's skyline some 800 plus years ago.
Casas grandes que había en aquellos años.
The largest building had about 2,000 rooms, with blocks over 40 feet in height and several structures multiple stories in height, making the complex among the largest prehistoric Pueblo settlements. Now the mayor reaching out to the regional neighbors to share the magic of his historic city.
La buena comunicación con...
Mayor Lucero adds that he wants to strengthen the relationship between our borderland and their Pueblo Mágico, adding that he understands people's fear of visiting due to previous security concerns.
Lástima que pasaron cosas en el 2008-2009 donde
He wants to assure the public he has made it a priority to ensure the safety of the tourists, allow them to fall in love with his town once again.
de poder darles buenas nuevas, que estamos trabajando de una manera diferente.
Another piece to the magical mosaic of Casas Grandes, a rapidly expanding wine industry.
Fíjate que el vino en Casas Grandes ha crecido mucho. Ahorita tenemos más de 5 viñedos.
Even with those examples, Mayor Lucero adds that his community has so much more to offer. Museums of archaeological artifacts showcasing their pottery, caves, all reasons to visit his historic community. The mayor welcomes everyone to see what makes their small town so magical.
Hay mucho que descubrir en Casas Grandes. Invitamos a que vayan.
It was such a pleasure meeting the mayor of Casas Grandes. And you know what, Andy? Just the way I was able to see everything that he's done for the city, I kind of want to go now. I really want to stop by and really see that magic.
Looked like a good stop. Also really, really cool that he came up north in order to meet everyone, in order to kind of have this interview for our Small Town Spotlight
Absolutely.
series.
So thank you guys so much for making all the trip down
really
here.
Cool. Another small town that we're talking about is Creel, Mexico. And of course, that's actually, it's 100 miles southwest of the capital of Chihuahua, which of course is Chihuahua City.
Absolutely. So this has a lot of magic to offer as well. Fun fact, the town was named after the governor at the time, Enrique Creel. I can't wait for you guys to learn more about it.
Creel se funda con la llegada del tren Chepe. Estamos hablando del año 1907.
Tour guide Cesar Sosar is under a spell first cast by the arrival of the railroad to Creel, unlocking the natural beauty and magic of this corner of Chihuahua for all to experience. Starting with its name, a link to the early history of the small town, a namesake based on, of all things, amphibians.
De ser una ranchería muy pequeña llamada Seguarachi.
Sosa says the town was once called Seragochi, which means the land of frogs in the language of the Raramuri, indigenous people who still call Creel home. Founded in the 19th century, Creel was a small indigenous people's ranch dedicated to agriculture, the cultivation of grains, raising farm animals, all for residents and for trade.
Ese es el origen de Creel, la llegada del tren Chepe.
That all changed with the arrival of Ferrocarril Chihuahua al Pacífico, Chepe for short, connecting Chihuahua with western towns all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
Hoy día me atrevo a decir que el 70% de la actividad económica es el turismo.
Fast forward 100 years and the Chepe line through Copper Canyon is world-renowned as the impressive engineering feat cementing Creel's spot as a tourist hotspot with sights to see beyond the rails.
Si vas a Creel, tú te puedes quedar 15 días y cada día tendrás un destino diferente para visitar.
An 18th century Jesuit mission called San Ignacio de Arrareco. Then right next door, a museum filled with sacred art. Beyond the mission and museum, impressive otherworldly landscapes, all with magical names. Valley of the Mushroom, Valley of the Frogs, and the Valley of the Monks.
De ahí nos vamos, les digo, a infinidad de puntos a conocer.
From a small indigenous ranch to a critical rail connection to a heritage-filled town, Creel is ready with arms wide open to welcome anyone who wants to visit.
Creel brinda mucha confianza y que Creel los espera con los brazos abiertos, definitivamente.
What did you think, Andy?
I realize we've only so far gone through Casas Grandes and then Creel, but I will say so far my favorite in terms of like the landscapes. That's what I was kind of talking about at the top of the hour, was just the landscape, so green, so beautiful. You have the mountains there, you have the pine trees, you have the waterfalls. That's where home is the heart for
to you,
me.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that the mayor, and you just heard from our tour guide, who says, you know, you're really going to be sinking into the culture of it all. So you're going to be seeing exactly how everyone lives there and their traditions, their customs, and I just really can't wait to explore all that.
Yeah, can't wait to also get to our next 3 magic towns of Chihuahua, Mexico. Stay with us here on KTSM 9 News, Small Town Spotlight.
Welcome back, everyone, to KTSM 9 News Small Town Spotlight. We're here coming to you live from Chihuahua Charlie's, a delicious restaurant. Andy, have you been enjoying our little tour of the 5 magic towns so far?
No doubt about that. And the one thing that you were telling me on this next stop, it's actually kind of a fast set of Krill, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so
5 minutes away.
It's really close right there. So if you're already done being very calm and just in the nature of it all and you want some thrills, maybe?
This is the place?
This is the place.
So, correct. So, Parque Barrancas Aventura. Did I
Hey,
get
you
it
nailed
right?
it. I love that, yes.
All right, we're doing it. So, it's located in the Copper Canyons. As Monica mentioned, a wide range of activities to do. Let's take a look.
It is called Parque Barrancas. It is an adventure park known as Copper Canyon Park. More than adventure, you can find culture, as well gastronomy and nature everywhere. We have the 3rd longest cable car in the world, and the first zip line that is called Zip Rider. So when you are experiencing the Zip Rider, you have this feeling like you are flying. Safety is the first thing that we think about, is our priority. I like people to feel that they are going to do something that they're going to enjoy, but as well they're pretty well secured. Copper Canyon is categorized or described as a live canyon because people live around it. People that is called tarahumaras or raramuris. I'm pretty sure that you're going to experience a lot of things, and culture is going to be something important because you are going to see how they live, what they do, how they cook, and you can do those things with them. For example, you can make some tortillas with them, or you can help them to make some handcrafts. Parque Barranca is a sustainable park. We have a lot of programs or projects to help people around, but as well to help nature. It is a family environment, absolutely. Some people just go there because they want to see nature. They want to feel it. So that's okay. It's part of the adventure as well. So having all of those things that I told you already is going to give you a life experience. It's not just an experience, it is a life experience.
I think I know Andy's next vacation destination.
No doubt about that. And I was actually trying to do Parque Barrancas Aventura Park something adventure.
Canyon. Yeah,
Canyon,
think of
see?
Canyon. Yeah.
Looks like a great time.
Right. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Juan Gabriel was actually born Alberto Aguilera Valadez, but he took the name Juan Gabriel, Juan from his professor who taught him music, and Gabriel from his actual father. And of course, his legacy lives on in this beautiful mansion and museum in Juarez. Now, joining me once again is Jesus, our tour guide today. Who maintains this incredible museum now?
Okay, so it's maintained by the Juan Gabriel Foundation, which was created by his family, Aguilera's family. And this is a very important spot for us because this is the first rock, we call it that, the first rock of the museum. It's a combined effort by municipal presidency and Aguilera family. This far, we had over 22,000 visitors from all over the world, from France, Spain, Italy, of course Mexico. We had a lot of Mexicans here, people from the US, from Canada, Central and South America. And we haven't been open not even a year. It's less than a year.
August of 24, so
Exactly.
it's fairly new.
Exactly.
Well, what a wonderful attraction, and thank you so much for the tour today. Thank you.
Here comes your exclusive 9-day forecast. As expected, the moisture has thinned out. No longer the threat of any heavy rainfall. High temperature tomorrow, 99 degrees. We'll have some hit or miss thunder showers in the area. If any rain does happen, it would be very brief. No real threat of flooding. Expected to get very hot this weekend, up to 101 by Saturday, 103 Sunday as we cruise into the work week. Extreme heat roars back with a big ridge of high pressure. By Tuesday, 105, Wednesday, 106 degrees. Of course, my photographer is Tony Pina, and he's very famous for his rock star appearance, his small imported car that he drives around in. And unfortunately, this time, my friend Tony Pina was struck by, you guessed it, an uninsured motorist. We are live at the law firm that underwrote all of these small town spotlights, the Labinati law firm. Daniela Labinati is here with a couple of her lawyers and an investigator from her team. A lot of people in El Paso, unfortunately, uninsured motorists. What do you do?
Yes, unfortunately, sad situation. In fact, I was hit and struck by an uninsured motorist with my child in the car. So I know all about being hit by an uninsured motorist.
Unlucky person, that one. Okay, but...
Yes, my car was absolutely totaled. But thank God I had underinsured motorist coverage, and everything was taken care of, including...
Wait. So you're saying on your insurance, you had uninsured motorists. But do people buy that? I mean, I have it, but I thought it was like, does it really work?
You must buy it. In fact, insurance companies do not want to sell it to you. Please ask for it and do not let anyone dissuade you otherwise. It's very good and it protects you and your family, not only when you're hit by an uninsured motorist, which there are plenty here in El Paso, especially there are some people who drive from Juarez and they don't have any insurance, so it's very common. We see this quite often, but also people don't know that that coverage also protects you if the driver hits you is not fully insured. So it's kind of like a double coverage in a situation when you are hit by a driver that has insurance but doesn't have enough insurance. You must have it. Please never cancel it. It's probably one of the best things in your insurance because it protects your car. It protects you from, additional medical bills, for lost wages, and we use it all the time.
Excellent advice. Daniela, thanks to you and the Labinati Law Firm. We appreciate it, and everybody loves these small town spotlights. Thank you. Excellent law firm. All right, my friends, we will be right back.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. So, we've already learned a little bit about the two Pueblos Mágicos, Casas Grandes and Krill. And here to talk a little bit more about it is Alejandra Villalobos. She came all the way from Chihuahua. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah, one of the big things that we've been talking about throughout this small town spotlight is, and I think it's a common factor when we go to all our small town spotlights, is we're trying to highlight places that people maybe didn't think to go on vacation or maybe take a weekend trip. And this falls right in that category, especially a place like Casas Grandes, which isn't that far away from El Paso.
Actually, it's pretty close to El Paso. If you go by Santa Teresa and you cross the international bridge there, then you will be, let's say, 3.5 hours away from it. And you will have the chance to live all of this about archaeological site that is Paquimé. And also, there are some vineyards there. Right now, they're having vendimias and all of this wine tasting and all sorts of things. So it's a great place to visit, and for you, it's not that far.
Yeah.
And how many days do you think we should stay in Casas Grandes, for example?
I would stay at least for 2 nights. Okay. You will have the chance to visit Paquimé, which is this archaeological site that is heritage of UNESCO. But also you can go to Mata Ortiz, where they build this, where they create these ceramic pots that are very special. You can have the chance to learn how to make them and paint them and all sorts of things there. But also you can visit the vineyards. And there are some murals. You already saw them on your story, interviews, on the story. And it's a great place to visit.
Man, you had me at wine, so I love it.
The vineyards, Alejandra Villalobos, the Director of Tourism Management for the state of Chihuahua. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks you.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we just want to say goodbye, and we want to say thank you so much to the officials from the Secretary of State of Tourism in Chihuahua. Thank you guys so much for coming.
And of course, a big thank you to our friends at Chihuahua Charlie's for having us. Your hospitality has been great. We had a great time.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you, guys. And next week, we're going to have them back because it's part 2 of the Pueblos Mágicos.